Hello guys, how's it going? Welcome to another Gwent City video. Today I have a really important guest. One person who has been killing it on the ladder. Somebody who everybody knows by now. ImpetuouosPanda, how you doing?
Hey Monty, how's it going? Pretty well. Pretty hot here in Spain, but it's going.
Oh, it's alright. I live in Florida. I know all about that. It's really hot here as well. Let's just start with the name. Where did the name came from?
It was a gamer tag I made on PS3 when I was playing Call of Duty. I just wanted to find like a cool animal, so I chose a panda and then like a cool adjective, and impetuous was pretty. It sounded pretty good, so that's how it came to be. Pretty random, actually.
No, man. Like I'm telling you, if I see a panda on war, I'll be scared. Trust me. No, nobody messes with the pandas. All right. Let's talk about your game history a little bit. So, what brought you into Gwent? Do you play other card games, or just games overall?
I've been gaming my whole life pretty much. I started playing a lot of different games, a lot of different genres, not anything in specific. And for card games, I only played Hearthstone for a bit, but only for like 3 or 4 months maximum. It was a good game, but it didn't really attract me like Gwent has. And I played for like a few months when Face Hunter was very popular for those that play the game, and I got to Legend, but it wasn't. I didn't really compete there at all or play seriously, to be honest.
Oh no, completely agree. I was playing during that time as well, but even if I won, I didn't feel like I was being rewarded or having the satisfaction of victory because I was just playing the cards as they were playing. They were there. You know what I'm saying? It was like the aggro factor of it. It was still the thing that drew me away. Do you feel the same way, or you disagree?
Yeah, I think Gwen is much more complex. I never got to the level of thinking with Hearthstone that I'm get to with Gwent when I'm playing. And in general, yeah, it was much less rewarding. And I mean, it was a fun game, but it wasn't as strategic or as intense as Gwent is, I think.
Oh, that is awesome. Is there any other games that you actually competed or anything that you would like to share with us?
I competed semi-professionally in Call of Duty Ghosts, so like one of the most recent ones here in Spain, but just online tournaments and some national tournaments in Spain and in Europe in general, but nothing too serious.
Is there a skill from Call of Duty or competitive gamings that you translate into Went and that actually helps you or gives you an edge?
Well, I think they're very different genres, so I'm not sure if there's anything that I really translate from the game, but I guess I'm just a very competitive person by nature. I've been playing sports and gaming, playing competitive games my whole life, so I guess just that level of ambition or the need to like win and stuff like that kind of pushes me a lot when playing Gwen as well. So I guess that kind of is the reason, maybe.
No, that's awesome. So now let's get a little bit into the ladder because man, you've been killing it. You were number 1 on your main account, number 2 on your old account, and constantly getting in the top 10 with both accounts. That is extremely impressive. Is there a tip that you would like to give our viewers in order for them to better themselves on the ladder?
I think it's just mainly knowing how the meta works and how like what you're going to be playing against and the strengths and weaknesses not only of your deck but of like all the different decks in the meta, because it's important to not only play your deck well. I mean, that's obviously a big factor, but also understanding how to play it against different matchups and why other decks are also working on the ladder. So you have to kind of know exactly how each matchup plays out, and just a lot of knowledge with cards and mechanics and when to pass and when to bleed, etc.
Oh, I see. Okay, so it's pretty much basic overall. Like the understanding of the game is what gives you a huge advantage. Now there is a point where everybody has gotten tilted and gotten into massive losing streaks. How do you deal with this situation if you even face them?
Yeah, I'm currently not maybe on a huge losing streak, but I have been a bit annoyed the past 2 days with the current Axeman meta. I think it's very infuriating. I think it's a big oversight on CD Projekt Red's part that like Frost exists in its current state, because I think it's just very oppressive. And the way Axemen are one of the few units in the game that still aren't capped, they're still like they have like an exponential growth every turn that isn't really capped like most other things are. Like for example, Commander's Horn Used to be double, and that was like way too much, obviously. So it got capped like at 5 strength. So I think right now maybe I'm a little tilted because of the current meta, but hopefully it gets patched soon. And yeah, that's the main. I mean, if you're tilted, you just have to maybe try switching decks or try switching your current deck a few of the cards to tech against whatever's kind of tilting you or what's making you lose, and maybe just take a break from the game. Also, like for 1 or 2 days can also help.
Yeah, that truly helps actually. And let me tell you, I'm still a little bit salty and tilted about the axe meta. So now, is there any mistakes that you see players do while trying to climb the ladder?
I think some people try to maybe not. They try to like use different decks that they find online, and they don't really understand how it works or why it works so well. Because maybe there's sometimes decks that work very well at a certain MMR bracket because there's like a certain amount of opponents using the same kind of deck, so then it works better. But it doesn't work in like lower MMR or higher MMR. So I think it's important to understand why a deck works when it does, and maybe like not just net deck blindly and not just like, oh, this deck works for this guy because he's top 1, so I'll just use it myself, and then you get wrecked by some kind of a matchup where maybe there isn't that matchup in high MMR, but there is the matchup in like 2K MMR. So I think it's important to understand decks and not just net deck blindly. I think it's important.
Also understanding the ladder, because the ladder is actually not just uniformal, it actually has layers, and you have to attack for that layer of your MMR that you are at the moment and what's being countered and played on that part of the ladder. So also, you're not just a player, but you actually create articles and other kind of stuff like streaming and everything. Could you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, I've always liked writing in general. When I play a game or invest a lot of my time in a project, or mostly just games, because I've been gaming my whole life. I really like writing guides and being part of the community, and I've created content on YouTube as well for a few years, in relation to Call of Duty, for example, and some other games. So it came naturally to me to want to pursue some kind of writing for Gwent as well, because I played so much and there's so much I want to share or maybe discuss and share my opinions with, that I just really like writing. And so that's how I started writing stuff on GwentDB, which I think is a great site. And also with the streaming, I just recently started the past like 2 weeks ago, and it's been going pretty well. I really like it. It's really fun.
Awesome. We'll make sure to have links to that on the comments below. And also, so there has been a lot of changes that have been happened to Gwent. Is there something that you would like to see CDPR do to the game itself?
I think there's a few things they have to really fix right now. For example, weather. I think Frost is a bit strong right now in conjunction with certain cards like Axeman, for example. So I think they still have to make a few more balance changes to weather in general to make it really work as a mechanic, which is very hard to balance, obviously, but I think it's what should be one of their main goals right now. I also think the ladder system can see a lot of work. I don't want to go too far into it because I can spend, an hour discussing what I want to see changed in the ladder system. But in general, I'd like to see 2 different ladders. So one would be like a casual ladder with the same system we have now, which is very progressive ladder, which is it's better for free-to-play players because they can rank up quickly and get their rewards in terms of like rank rewards and end of the season rewards. And that would be exactly the same. But then I'd like to see a different competitive ladder where like the top, say, 200 players are moved from the main ladder to a different ladder, which is like only maybe, say, there's like relegations and promotions every season reset. So maybe like the top 200 players join that ladder, and you have like 20 players dropping every season reset, or joining or dropping from the ladder, and that ladder would have like different K values, and it wouldn't be as progressive, and the win rate, like, it wouldn't be so dependent on win streaks, I think, and just playing a lot of games. And I think that would be a much better system in general, although it would be very hard to implement, obviously.
Yeah, but I'm interested. I'm interested in what in your idea. It actually sounds really cool, and overall, it will make me look forward for every single beginning and end of the season. That will sounds really cool. Well, let's see what they do about that. Finally, is there any shoutouts that you would like to give to anybody?
Well, I want to thank the team over at GwentDB. Their admin, JMXD, is the guy that initially, recruited me to the GwentDB team and gave me an opportunity to start writing stuff there. And he's a very nice guy, and I think he runs the GwentDB website very well. So a big shout out to him, and then just to all the guys that have helped me with when I started streaming. And Crokies, for example, helped me out a lot with the setting up the stream and how to just have everything work properly. A lot of like Nightbot stuff and all the bots and all that complicated stuff that I had no idea about. And just in general, just the Gwent community I think is great. All the streamers have been very friendly and very nice when I started streaming and stuff, and like with the host and everything. I think it's just a great community, and it's very friendly in general. So big shout out to everyone, I guess.
There you go. You heard it here first, guys. Thank you so much for being here with us, man, and I'll see you guys next time.
See you guys later.